Welcome, friends, to this final day of the 3 day workshop, meditation workshop that we just are about to conclude in Rice Lake, Wisconsin. Once again, I want to say I'm so happy to see all of you co travelers with me on the same path. We are working towards the same destination. We are all traveling together. I'm traveling with you. And it's such a nice thing to find so many co-travelers on this spiritual path. What we have done so far, if I were to give you a brief summary, is that on the first day, I mentioned to you the importance of finding the truth within ourselves and not outside. There is nothing worthwhile outside. You can get some useful material from hearing speeches, hearing lectures, hearing discourses, reading books, some information. But sometimes the information cannot match the inner experiences because many of the real spiritual experiences can never be described or penned down. And that is why people tell stories to describe them, just to fit in with our knowledge of the physical universe. That is why we do not get the real picture of what is inside. When we have real spiritual experiences, so many of our assumptions break down. And sometimes it is so shocking to see that the assumptions we held for so long, taking them to be truth, they're false and completely untrue. Since some of the experiences can be shocking, masters have always recommended, and great master, my master, especially recommended, always take small steps on this path. It's not necessary to hurry up, because once you have been accepted by a perfect living master, your going back to your true home is guaranteed. So don't worry if you take long or little more steps to go there, comfortably go back on this journey. So that is why it's not necessary to make any leaps on the way. Sometimes you can be so shocked with the breaking of your own assumptions that you won't understand. The mind won't understand what's going on. But if you go small steps, having a little experience, a little more every day, you will enjoy it. And that's how it should be done. So the first thing was, you can read books, you can have knowledge from outside, but begin the search for the truth within your own self. The master who initiates you outside is a symbol. He is a physical symbol of the master inside you. It's the master inside you who will guide you and take you back all the way to your true home. The physical man cannot do anything. A physical person outside is born and dies like you. How can he take you to your true home? He's just a projection of the master inside. Since we cannot see the master inside, therefore he comes outside. Supposing there were means to see a master automatically inside and get initiation inside, we don't need masters outside. But we don't get that. We are duped and cheated by our own mind. When we think of these things and think we have a master, we make it with our own mind. That's not a master. That is why we need a human being who becomes our friend and can express the unconditional love which can only come from a master who is within us. He touches our soul because he's coming from our soul. That's how he can touch our soul. And that is why the master outside guides us, loves us, shows us a path of love and devotion which takes us back to our true home. Love and devotion are qualities coming directly from our true home. All other methods of meditation, repetition of words, focusing attention anywhere, singing songs, chanting, everything else is mental activity. Love and devotion is not. It's a spiritual activity. And therefore, if you want to use meditation successfully, add this special ingredient of love and devotion to it right from the beginning. Whenever you start meditation, put your love and devotion for the master right from the beginning. it will speed up your progress and still make it more enjoyable and not a struggle at all. The struggle can be converted into an enjoyable journey by adding love and devotion to your meditation. After explaining to you the importance of going within and finding the truth, I also said that going within in the physical body is like going within this very body. It does not mean that going within will only be with the physical body. Going within will be going into every form of consciousness that we come across. I will talk to you a little later about advanced meditation, and then I will tell you how that happens. But right now we are in the first step. The first step is to realize that the one who speaks in you, the one who thinks in you, the life force that is in you, the vital force that is in you, that's making you alive and making you see the world and communicate with the world, where does it operate from? It operates from behind the eyes in the head. The rest of the body follows the instructions that go from the head. You are in the head. As a unit of consciousness, you are always operating from the head in this physical body in a wakeful state. That is why this meditation should be done in a wakeful state behind the eyes. In other states, it won't work. If you're sleeping, you can't meditate. If you're in a yogic position, in a trance, or gone into samadhi, into the heart center, or out of body, you cannot meditate. You cannot go anywhere higher. You want to go higher, you have to start from the wakeful state. This is a great state to be in, the wakeful state in the human body. So when you want to go within, the area that you have to explore is behind the eyes, between the ears, in the center, not too high, but right behind and going within this small area of the forehead, from the back of the eyes to the top of the head. That's where the whole exploration has to be done. The best thing is to imagine that you are there. And I told you the importance of imagination, the importance of attention, and the importance of the power of concentration of attention. These are the only three tools required to go within. Some people reject imagination because they think it's imaginary. It's unreal. How can we be using imagination to come to any reality? We are already calling it imagination, we are calling it imaginary. They don't realize, where does imagination come from? With your mind, with the data you collect in your external pindi mind, physical mind, that means the mind working in the physical body, it uses only the data that you collect from the physical world. The physical five senses, they collect data. But how can a new invention take place? How can an inventor come up with totally something new which is not there? How can a poet write a poem from somewhere that has not ever been written before? How can an artist produce something which is not there? Where does inspiration come from? Imagination is a very great thing we have. All these things happen, even in the physical world, through imagination. But that is not the real truth. The real truth you will find when you go within and find that imagination is the cause of everything. You will even find that this is an imagined world. Imagination only becomes a reality when you have completely left this body and gone to the astral plane and see that imagination created the whole thing. Imagination is not an imaginary thing. It looks imaginary when we are here. Therefore, when we use the power of imagination, it is a power that takes us to the next stage. When I say, imagine yourself behind the eyes, and you imagine yourself there, that means don't think you are the body. You're inside the body. You imagine yourself. When you imagine you are inside the body, then you have to create the space to be inside. Since our concept of ourself is the body, so we enlarge the space inside. And I mentioned, practice this. Practice enlarging the space, practice being in the center, practice being able to walk there, practice being able to do things, practice as if that's a big place, or make it into a contracted place, a little meditation chamber, and sit in the center and meditate. You are meditating on your own self inside the head. If you can start there, that's a proper start. If you cannot do that, keep on practicing this first till you can be absolutely sure that you know that the body is not you, you are in the head, and these parts of the body around you, that you are occupying the body is not you. Then you can start meditation. Then the next step I mentioned is to repeat the words which are given as a mantra, given as Simran by a master, and the main use of the words is to keep on repeating with the mind so that you don't think of anything else. It's just to squeeze out the words of thought. It is just you put these words in, the stream of words going on in thought are squeezed out, and therefore you are able to stay there. Because the words of the mind are constantly associated with objects and persons outside. And when you think, you always think of things outside. So your attention is always outside. To bring the attention inside, you repeat these words to hold the attention there. But if a perfect living master has given you the words, they also serve a second purpose. And sometimes you will find a very important purpose of preventing any negative entity coming in, including the negativity of your own mind. If you don't have the words, the mind can easily make up even the image of a master and say, that's the master speaking to us. That's God speaking to us. That's the words of speaking to us. The mind can make up anything. But if you have those empowered words, charged words with you, and you use them, then the mind even cannot do that. If an image is there, you can try out. If an image is there of any kind, which pretends to be the master's image, you repeat the word, it disappears immediately. Cannot stand. Especially the eyes and the forehead of a master cannot be copied by the mind or any negative entity at all. So that's a very good safeguard for us during this journey. Because there are some pitfalls also during the journey, because there are so many negative experiences and positive experiences all inside, just like outside. So that is why it's good to be very careful and get guidance from a master about how to avoid these. But this is one of the guidance, that use these charged, empowered words to avoid negativity on the way up to your true home. Then I mentioned to you that once you are there, you are familiar with that space, familiar with that chamber, meditation chamber, you can even look around and see openings in that. Actually, some of you, many of you, I was very happy that a majority of you in this workshop were able to find the space for meditation, were able to expand the space, were able to find the windows and fly out. Flying is a great experience. It's an astral experience. You're not flying with this body. You're flying with what you might call imaginary body or astral body. There's no difference. When you fly with that body carries sense perceptions with it. With that body you can see, touch, taste, smell, which you had another experiment the other day when we had those flowers and snacks and a drink. That was experiment to show how that body has all sense perceptions. When you will use those sense perceptions later on, after withdrawal of attention from the body, you'll be able to see much better than you ever seen with these eyes. You'll be able to hear much better with those ears, inner ears, than you can hear with the physical ears. You'll be able to have all the sense perceptions much more effective than these sense perceptions. Because these sense perceptions are coming from there and we don't know about it. So that is why you can have those experiences, and good to have the experiences for quite a time. Fly, you will find dark skies, bright skies, you will see the sun, the moon, you will see stars, you will see all those things as you continue to fly. And those flights are good, because although the master is always with you while you are initiated by a master, you don't see him, because the master plays little hide and seek with you. It's a game, you also play that. So he also plays little hide and seek. He hides behind the clouds, you're flying. You feel his presence, but you say, I want to see you. You see him when you fly across the sky and you see the radiant form at a distance. See, that looks like the master. And as he approaches, sometimes he goes away. Actually, it's our own attention that falters. In the beginning, the attention will drop and come back, drop and come back, and the experience will change according to that. Once you are able to stabilize that experience and able to see the radiant form of the Master at all times, he'll be your constant companion, visible form, 24/7 throughout your life. And that's the point when you find loneliness ends completely. And a new friendship and a new companionship starts, which explores the universe, which explores the galaxies, which explores higher regions, and explores ultimately all levels of consciousness, and ultimately arrives at the true home. That relationship is never lost. But even when the Master is with us, because of our attention, we sometimes ignore where the Master is and look the other way. That is why there was a lady in the Dera, a very advanced lady. She was our neighbor, and therefore we knew more about her. But she was a very favorite Bibi of the great Master. One day, she was crying in her little house, and crying so much, we broke open the door to find out if she is okay. She was crying, and we didn't know what to do. We asked her to open her eyes, wake up, baby, what's happened? Some kind of hysterical fit she has got into, but she wouldn't open her eyes. We had to go to Great Master, wake him up, bring him there, and he came. He said, "Bibi, where are you?" She said, "I am in hell." "How did you go to hell?" "Just out of curiosity. I just wanted to see what it looks like." "But is anybody hurting you?" "No." "Then why are you crying?" "Because I can't see other people being tortured the way they are." "Why don't you repeat the names and come out? Why don't you think of me and come out?" "I can't see you, and I can't remember the names." "Can you hear me now?" "Yes, I can hear you." "Follow my voice and come out." And she opened her eyes and put her head on his feet and said, "Sorry." Now here the Bibi, who had the great Master with her, but she played little truant by curiosity. Out of curiosity, let me run and see what's happening. Why I'm bringing this to your notice is, this can happen even when you are an advanced soul. So one has to be very careful in this path, that be guided by the Master. Stay close to the Master. Once you manifest him, stay close. Don't say, "Now I have the Master, now I can go anywhere I like, and Master, you wait here, I'm just coming." Don't try that. Now when you have these experiences, the real experience of going further than that, beyond the astral plane, does not happen by meditation with the physical body. That happens by meditation with the astral body. When you are able to familiarize yourself with your inner form, that means you are an imaginary form with the same shape actually as this one. It is so similar to this one, that you will find that you are actually moving around, thinking, seeing things from the head of the inner self, not from this head. You'll forget this one. You don't even know you have it. But when you have that, the process of going to a still higher level is to meditate within the head of the astral body. It's at that time, which is a little more difficult, but that's more advanced meditation. When you want to go to advanced meditation, then you meditate with the inner body. And the process is still the same, the third eye of the inner body, behind the eyes of the inner body. When you can put your attention there, you'll forget your sense perceptions and open up yourself to a universal mind. And you'll discover so many truths about this universe. You'll find out the very nature of this universe, how it's being created. You'll find that it's not created out of matter. It's not created out of matter at all. It's not created out of energy. It's created out of consciousness. It's the ability of consciousness, and the ability of consciousness being pumped through the mind, which creates time and space, has created all the universes. You will also find out how many universes there are. There's a very tiny, small universe we are in. There's so many universes created. This experimentation with consciousness is a vast one. And that vastness can be experienced in its full glory at that level. And you can have that by meditation with the inner self and going beyond. Then you'll forget that also. then you have to stay with the master who keeps on changing his form exactly as you change your form. In this physical world, outside, he is like a human being like you. Inside, he is in the astral form like you. In the causal form, he is formless like you. When I say formless, actually it's not formless. It's a form that we think we have a form. We have consciousness and a form, but it's not like this body. You might say it's like a form of an oblong light, piece of light, or something like that. And you feel you are like that only. The light is so filled up. One of the great experiences of inner journeys is the amount of light you will see. These eyes can never even look at that light. But the inner eyes can see everything. You'll be able to such light you've never seen before. They look like darkness compared to that. The best, you can look at this sun, it will look like darkness. The light of your own self, when you go beyond that, into these, which you can only go with love and devotion for the Master. At that time, all other methods fail. When the love and devotion joins you together with the Master, you go and discover yourself as a soul. You discover your own soul has the light flashing of put as averagely like the 16 of the solar suns you see outside. We can't even see one sun. Look at it. Your own light is equal to 16 of these suns put together, and you can see that. So you will notice that these experiences that come gradually take them step by step, the possibility of getting all the experiences right up to totality exist in each one of us. It is the distractions, it is our attachments that are going on which are holding us here. Some people told me yesterday I don't tell jokes anymore that I forgot to tell any jokes. Now when I talked about this, I think I'll interrupt with a few jokes. Is it all right? Let me get them out of the way. I'll tell you a few. There was a Buddhist monk. The Buddhist monk was talking to his master, the abbot. He says, Master, is it all right for a Buddhist monk to use email? The master said, certainly, son, you can use email so long as there are no attachments. Then there was an American tourist interested in Buddhism, and he went to the monasteries of Tibet. In these monasteries, and I visited many of them, by the way, the monasteries that are close to Tibet, and they are large monasteries, beautiful. And there, they use the original parchments where Buddha's teachings were recorded. Many of them were put on what they called the paper taken from the tree. Boj Patra, they used to call it. That means it's just taken the side of the tree. Some trees are very good for that, and they write on that. There was no paper. So many of these are very frail and fragile. So therefore, large number of novices and young Buddhist monks are busy writing on paper to transfer those on paper so teachings can be preserved. So this American tourist Buddhist goes there, and in the monastery finds that all the hundreds of monks are busy transcribing from the old text onto new paper. Then people read the new paper. That's the version. They can't give the parchments. The parchments are then stored in the basement of the monastery, and the other are copied outside. So he thought for a moment, what if some writer makes a mistake and writes one word wrong? Then that wrong word will be considered the teaching of Buddha for all time. So he asked the abbot of that monastery that these people are all writing this thing. What if they make a mistake? He says, no. From time to time, we can check up from the parchments. When these papers are ready, from time to time, I myself go down and I check out if the records are correct. So he took one of the parchments and went down to the basement, just to explain to this man that this is how we double check that this is accurate. When he was downstairs, he didn't come back. So they got worried And the leading monk, who was senior monk, he said, let me go down and see what happened to the abbot. He goes down and he doesn't come back. And so the American tourist goes down to see what's going on. And they are both screaming, we made a mistake. The actual word was celebrate. We missed out the R and made it celebrate. There is also what a big mistake. Then I want to wind up this couple of jokes with a joke I've already told all of you, but I think people laugh so much on that I bear repetition. It's called the Jonathan joke because it originated from Jonathan. After I tell the joke, don't look at me, look at him. This is about a pastor of a church who had 2 parrots, and he trained them to speak holy verses from the Bible. He said prayers, and the parrots were given beads in their hands, so they would move the beads in their hands and say all kinds of nice prayers, holy words. One of the parishioners saw that. He said, what a great idea, that these parrots are continuously reciting holy things. What an atmosphere, holy atmosphere to create in the house. So he told the pastor, is it a good idea if I also get 2 parrots and train them to repeat the verses? He said, it's a good idea. Go and buy 2 parrots. So the guy went and bought 2 parrots, brought them home. When he reached home, he found they were female parrots. And as soon as he opened the cage to get them out, they both said, we are hookers, you want to have a good time? He was horrified. What kind of parrots have you brought? So he went to the pastor and complained. He said, I got 2 parrots thinking that I'll train them to be holy parrots. This is the kind of words they are speaking. The pastor said, no, this is because somebody trained them to say these words. These parrots are trained, whatever you tell them, they repeat. So you can retrain them. And I'll tell you an easy way. Just like human beings are affected by company, the parrots are also affected by company. I'll lend you my parrots, the 2 parrots. They will, in their beads, keep on repeating the good verses. Your parrots will hear them. They will also learn them. So the pastor loaned his 2 parrots, and they were taken there. When the 2 parrots were put there, he opened up his 2 female parrots. The female parrots, as usual, said, we are hookers, you want to have a good time? On that, one of the male parrots looks at the other, and he says, throw away your beads, our prayers have been answered. Just jokes, don't take it seriously. There is one aspect of the meditational process, which I mentioned right in the beginning, that when you are able to put your attention sufficiently in the center, you will be able to hear the sound of your own conscious, of your own self. That's a shortcut. I have found from my own experience that Simran, repetition to hold attention, is the most tedious way and takes the longest time. Once able to catch the sound, it's a shortcut and you go more rapidly in withdrawal of attention. With love and devotion and the sound combined is the fastest way. So I do recommend that when you are able to hold your attention behind the eyes and you can hear sound inside, not from outside. You can plug your ears, close your eyes and just go to a dark room, go to a quiet place where there's no other external sound at all, and try it when the sound starts coming from within. And there's always sound within. There is a sound emanating from our own self, from our own soul, from our true home. This kind of resonance that comes from there, which can be heard while we are still here. And if you can attach your attention to that and listen to it carefully. You might remember yesterday I said when you were repeating words, listen to the words. And that's the practice that will help you to get the sound faster. Listening, develop listening. Develop listening sitting behind the eyes, develop listening, and everything will work out. when you try to listen, the sound comes. And if you keep on listening to the sound, you will hear several kinds of sounds, some familiar, some unfamiliar, but one of the sounds at a distance will sound very melodious. Like it's got a pull in it, it's attraction in it. If you can hold your attention on that sound will pull you. It will pull you so rapidly sometimes that you'll be just thrown off your feet. You will not know where you are. And sometimes it can be too rapid. Even the sound, listening to the sound, I said, do it in stages small. I remember happening in my own house, my own father. My father got initiated. And he was very keen on this meditation and that he should get the results as fast as he can. He was a professor of philosophy and was teaching metaphysics and things like that. And he said, let me prove to myself that what we were talking, theoretical spirituality, is actually true. So once he got initiated, he went in. When he heard the sound, he got so attracted. The whole attention began to pull. He said, I'm going to die. He opened his eyes and ran. He said, this is a terrible kind of meditation. It just kills you. I was almost dead. So he ran to his master, great master. He said, Master, what kind of meditation have you taught me? This Surta Shabda Yoga, this sound thing. The sound is so powerful. It killed me almost. I could feel that I was dying. And great master said, no, don't be in a hurry about it. Take it easy, because the process is called dying while living. You do experience dying, but if you die slowly, you won't know. Then you will feel you're just losing the sensation in your feet, you're losing sensation in your legs, and gradually you'll know you are still there. Then you will get inner experiences, and the body is still there. Then the body disappears, you have another body is right there, so you won't feel like this. It should be done slowly, not like this. In any case, don't get frightened. You know, I don't want to meditate anymore. Not that kind. He said, the way I'm telling you, do it slowly. Then he said, do you have faith that I have initiated you into this path? And if you die, physically die, who are you expecting to see? What are you expecting to see? He said, I have faith in you that I will see you. He said, then why are you afraid of dying? Why are you afraid of dying artificially? Well, you're not afraid of dying physically and seeing me. I'll still be there, even artificially. When you pull your attention, I'll be there. He said, apart from that, you are a teacher, professor, I'll use another method of convincing you. It's called statistics. Statistically, no person has died while doing meditation, not even a natural death. How come you are afraid? Let people die. Everybody dies. But we have no instance of a person dying while he was doing this kind of meditation. Even death, physical death, seems to be postponed while you are doing this. Therefore, don't worry about it. That then convinced him. And then my dad then proceeded further. And then he had good experiences. So I'm bringing this to your notice only because of our keenness to get things, keenness to find. Don't be so impatient. And I am repeating this, don't be impatient, because I am in the United States of America where everybody is impatient for everything. We want it right now. When I heard the story of King Janak wanting instant knowledge from Ashtabakar, I knew King Janak must have been an American in a past life. The way he wanted instant thing. We want everything instant coffee, instant thing. Anyway, don't try that instant thing on meditation. It's a very great gift that we've got. These gifts that we didn't find it. We didn't make it up. We have not made any of the stuff that I'm talking to you about. It's all a gift. And we have been given these gifts by the Creator. Let's make good use of them. It's a great way to get out of the mess that we are in. If you don't think it's a mess, then don't go. It's not necessary. If you are still enjoying the show, and with little meditation you'll find out it is a show. It's not reality. But if you think the show is nice and good, enjoy it. There's no hurry. One day you will go. And if you are tired of this, you think I've had enough of it, then go. Then follow the simple instructions I've shared with you, and then you go. So it is that simple. So at an extended workshop, meditation workshop, because we are planning now in the next couple of years to have extended workshop 5 to 7 days long, where we will proceed with actual meditation stage by stage, including inner meditation by the inner astral self, so that we can have actual experiences. You had very good experiences only up to the astral level, but I want you to have experiences beyond. If you continue to have this practice when you go home, you'll be able to make more progress and be more prepared and better prepared to come for that extended workshop where we will go further up and show you what else exists within us. Everything exists within us. The soul, Atma, immortal soul exists inside this body at this time. The Creator God exists inside. The Creator of the Creator, the Word, exists inside. Everything is inside, and all are within our reach through simple methods that these perfect living masters give us. It's so wonderful. I am so happy that I was able to share these things with you. I am finishing this seminar at this time, this workshop, because there are some people who have asked for initiation or re-initiation. So I'd like to see them after this and see how many of them get approval from my master. And they'll be, I think, especially lucky. But we are all lucky. We are all lucky because we are all seekers. And one day or the other, we are all going to go the same place. So I congratulate all of you for being here. Thank you very much for joining me in the meditation sessions and also in these talks and also in the nice lunch. Did you like the lunch that was served by this club? I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you very much. And I want to thank Jonathan, the president of the Institute for the Study of Human Awareness, Isha, and all his colleagues for arranging this. So thank you very much for joining me in this. I'll see you later on about 3:30 in the afternoon.